Alright guys, we're working in Illustrator again. I'm going to show you how to create text into images and manipulate them. So first let's start by creating our text. Your text tool is right here in your toolbar. The shortcut is going to be T. And if you just click, this is what I found. I like in Illustrator. It's not like this in every program, but in Illustrator how you can just click, you don't have to create a text box. And then it will build the text box around your text itself. So you don't have to keep constantly making sure your text box is the right size, if it's going to fit in there. If you just click, it'll allow you to do that. And now if I come over and grab my Move tool, V is a shortcut, I can actually resize it without going in and adjusting the size through the character palette. Okay, so here we go. Here's my text. Now if I just highlight it, I can change it to whatever font I want. I don't really know what these fonts are. The easiest thing for me is if I go to tables, Windows, type, and then I go to character, but I have that pulled up somewhere. Where is it? Oh well. Okay, it's right there. Okay. It shows you the fonts in the character palette, like what the fonts are. And so that makes a lot of people's lives easier, because that was the one thing that frustrated me in Illustrator, is that I couldn't see what the fonts were. So let's say I wanted to go to Impact, and I want to go in and actually start manipulating these texts. Make sure before you do this next step that you have checked your spelling, that everything is spelled right, that your punctuation is right, because you cannot go back in and adjust your text after this. It's going to be turned into an image instead. So now I have my text, it's spell checked, it's great. So I'm going to go to Type. I'm going to go to Create Outlines. Okay. The shortcut is Shift Command O. And there you go. So now each object has like these little dots around it. Now you can either come in with the Direct Select tool and make sure nothing's selected and come in here and start adjusting certain parts of it. Or you can, because if I click on this, it's grouped. If you don't want to work in it in groups and move the letters around, you can go to Object, Ungroup, or Shift Command G. Okay. Now that ungrouped each letter, so I can move my N down here, I can move my S up here, you know, creating some fun little slanted sun. You do what you want with this. If I just highlight by dragging, I can select them all at once. I can move them around. I can still come in here with the Direct Select tool. I can manipulate my text by clicking on points, or I can even highlight parts of my text. Let's say I want to move up my P, but all these points up here, if I just highlight it like I just did, creating a little box, and pull up, it'll bring all the points together. You can do that with all your letters right here, which would be fun too, and bring them up. This actually just allows you to manipulate and adjust the text. I can also come in here now with my eraser and cut some parts out of my text if I wanted to. And the nice thing is, if I go back to my Direct Select tool, it's created points around them still, so they're still outlines, so I could even come in here and adjust it even more. Okay. I can change the coloring of each individual letter, so this is great when you're dealing with logos and you're doing a typography logo. Just I'm gonna bring this back into my palette here. Okay, so I want to adjust this color itself. I can turn it to green. Make sure, remember, this is your fill and this is your stroke. So let's say I want to add a stroke around it. I can have this highlighted and add a stroke around it. And there I have some text with color in it, just one individual one. There are pretty much now anything you want to do with these texts. Since they are an outline, they're an image, you can do what you want. You can play around with the pen tool, like I was showing you how to use the pen tool earlier. You can delete points if you want to. You can add anchor points. I need to highlight this, sorry. You can delete anchor points, you can add anchor points. It's completely up to you what you want to do with these texts. They're an object now, they're at your free range, so this can help you create a logo. This is a very interesting logo if you haven't noticed, but I'm just trying to show you the type of things you can do now with the text. It's really cool. It's a really cool program for that. Okay?